Did you know that Slab City is often referred to as the last free place on Earth? It's a hideaway for rebels, artists, and the homeless where laws seem to be just suggestions. Crazy, right? Imagine living in a place where you're surrounded by artistic murals, open land for miles, and some of the most colorful characters you could ever meet. But hold your horses. There's a darker side to this desert paradise that many don't see at first glance. Hey there. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating yet disturbing world of Slab City. From its unique lifestyle to the real dangers lurking behind its vibrant facade, we'll cover it all. So, if you're fascinated by unconventional communities and what happens when society's rules fall away, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around as we unravel the layers of Slab City. Let's kick things off with a quick history lesson. Slab City, located just outside of Niland, California, is built on the remnants of a World War II military base. After the military vacated, squatters moved in and transformed the place into what it is today, a free-spirited community where traditional rules don't apply. But here's the kicker: the freedom that attracts people also leads to significant challenges. While it's a hub for creativity and independence, many residents face issues like lack of access to healthcare, sanitation, and law enforcement. Imagine trying to survive a scorching summer with limited resources. It's no picnic. And the weirdest part? There's no formal address. You can't exactly call 911 if things go south. So if you need a doctor, good luck. You might have better luck haggling with a coyote than finding someone with a stethoscope. Now on to the artists. Slab City is a canvas, literally. The creative expression here runs wild, with all kinds of art popping up wherever you look: murals, sculptures, you name it. But while that's beautiful and inspiring, it also attracts a different kind of crowd. These artists are often viewed as outlaws in traditional society, but here's the dark side: the influx of idealists has led to gentrification fears. Some locals feel that the art scene is pushing them out and attracting more wealthy tourists. Talk about irony. It's like a hipster cafe popping up in your favorite dive bar. And isn't it pretty much guaranteed that every artist here has at least one story about trying to sell their art that ended with them bartering their last pack of ramen? Classic. Living off-grid might seem like a dream. However, it's not all desert sunsets and campfire stories. In Slab City, navigating the social dynamics can be dangerous. With limited resources, some individuals turn to crime to survive. It's a real-life thriller out there. Crime rates can spike here, and keeping your valuables safe is a challenge. Residents often become more like a tight-knit family, keeping an eye out for each other, but there are still risks. Ever thought about what you'd do if a stranger took a liking to your solar panel? Let's just say you wouldn't want to test that theory in pitch dark. If you ever find yourself in Slab City, remember, trust your gut and keep your stuff under lock and key. Or better yet, say goodbye to material things. Who needs a fancy phone when you have a friend who can tell you stories from 1965, am I right? Divided, not just by ideology or background but also by economics. You've got long-term residents who have formed their own communities, and then there are those who come in wanting to live that free-spirited lifestyle, often clashing with the established groups. Imagine you've built a sense of family over the years, and then a new group of transients rolls in, throwing parties at all hours. Sure, it's a blast until that party turns into a full-blown rave with a little too much desert dancing. One minute you're vibing at sunset, and the next, you're dodging glitter bombs at 2 a.m., wondering how you ended up in a desert version of Coachella. But the division can lead to real challenges, especially when it comes to keeping order and community standards. To address common issues, some residents have banded together to form unspoken agreements on noise and hygiene, say hello to Slab City social etiquette. Yet, enforcing those standards? That's a whole different story without any real authority. Now, let's talk about the unique approach to governance, or lack thereof, in Slab City. This place thrives on the idea of freedom from governmental control, but that very independence can lead to chaos. What happens in a community with no rules? Well, it turns out that residents must navigate their own political landscape. In theory, no politics equals freedom. But that freedom breeds its own problems, making it a breeding ground for conflicts. With individuals managing their own affairs and cohabiting with others, disagreements can escalate quickly. Trust me, no one wants a disagreement over communal toilet paper to spiral into a desert standoff. Picture this, a heated debate on whether to use the old well or haul water from the next nearest town. It's like Survivor, Desert Edition. Will you vote off the competitor, or resort to a thumb war to decide? Speaking of Survivor, let's shift gears to the environmental challenges of living in Slab City. With limited resources and a community that can sometimes overlook sustainability, the impact on the local environment is significant. The desert can be unforgiving, and so can the neglect of its fragile ecosystem. Trash accumulation is a real issue. While most residents try to live sustainably, the influx of visitors sometimes brings a less forgiving attitude towards litter. Ever tried to clean a desert with nothing but a trash bag? It's like trying to sweep sand, impossible. Have you ever heard of desert tumbleweeds? They may be more reliable than some people when it comes to cleaning up. So here's the thing, if you ever visit, pack out what you pack in. Eco-friendliness is the new cool, and who doesn't want to tip the scales in favor of Mother Earth? Plus, think of all those Instagram likes you'll get from being a responsible traveler. Let's talk about something a bit heavier, mental health. The allure of Slab City can attract those looking to escape their pasts, but it can also mask deeper issues. For many residents, the physical isolation can amplify feelings of loneliness and despair. While some find freedom, others might struggle without the support systems they left behind. There are few resources, and this lack of access can lead to unmet mental health needs. Ever thought about how tough it can be to find a therapist who doesn't mind that you live off-grid? So, the question arises, how do we ensure a vibrant, healthy community while also addressing the emotional struggles? That's the ultimate balancing act. Imagine a cheerful group therapy session around the campfire. So, how does that make you feel? Could take on a whole new meaning in this setting. Now let's discuss survival skills, the real backbone of Slab City life. When you choose to live off the grid, you better be prepared for the challenges that come with it. From extreme weather to food shortages, it's not just about the picturesque desert sunsets, it's about fighting nature on a daily basis. Summer temperatures can soar beyond 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And winter? Well, let's just say the desert can turn into a freezing expanse quicker than you can say, freeze-dried dinner. Living here means you better know how to preserve foods or ration what you have. Ever tried to make a vegan casserole with a can of beans and no actual oven? If you can whip that up, you could probably win Chopped, Desert Edition. For anyone contemplating life in Slab City, investing in a good solar generator, proper insulation, and lots of sunblock is non-negotiable. And remember, learn a survival skill or two. Who wouldn't want to impress their neighbors with expert fire-starting abilities? Next up, let's tackle the elephant in the room, crime. While many residents are lovely folks just trying to find their place, Slab City is no stranger to illegal activity. With a lack of police presence and limited oversight, it can be a haven for those looking to cause trouble. From petty theft to larger-scale issues, residents often have to take their safety into their own hands. Imagine forming a neighborhood watch, but instead of neighborhood, it's more like a neighborhood campfire assembly where watch means keeping an eye on the stars. And let's face it, there's nothing like a good old-fashioned desert standoff with your neighbor's pet goat over who stole last week's last pack of toilet paper. If you're planning a visit, or even considering a long-term stay, make sure to scout out safe spots to camp, and always trust your instincts. It's amazing what a sixth sense can do when the sun sets in the desert. Finally, let's peer into the crystal ball and explore the future of Slab City. With the issues it faces, from environmental decay to social tensions, will this patchwork community endure, or is it on the brink of collapse? Some residents are actively working on community projects aimed at improving living conditions, increasing sustainability, and creating better resources. Imagine a solar farm sprouting up next to a DIY compost area. It could change the narrative. But make no mistake, challenges remain. The balancing act between creative freedom and environmental awareness is a tightrope walk that can only be navigated by a committed community. It's a delicate dance, and one slip could mean disaster for this free-spirited haven. So, is Slab City destined to become a forgotten relic or a revived utopia? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious, would you ever consider spending time in a place like this? As we wrap up today's deep dive into Slab City, remember, the allure of freedom is always matched by the risks at hand. This unique slice of life shows us the importance of resilience, creativity, and community, even in the harshest conditions. If you found this journey into the dark side of Slab City enlightening, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more adventures and explorations. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments, and let us know what you'd like to see next. Until then, stay curious, stay safe, and who knows, the next hidden gem might just be waiting for you. Next week, we'll be hitting the road once again to uncover the most haunted places in the desert. So, pack your ghost hunting gear, and we'll see you there.